What's up everybody, I'm Suman TMG here and welcome back to the channel. It's been a very long time since the last video. Oh, and if you are new here, then hi, my name is Suman Tamang and I'm a first year civil engineering student currently studying at Pulsuk campus, Lalitpur. In this video, I'm going to give my answer to a question that has been asked to me a lot of times. What is the best book for the IOE Entrance Examination? Well, this is quite a difficult question to answer because I have not tried every book that is available out there, so I cannot point out a particular book and say that it is the best one. However, I have tried different types of books for the IOE Entrance Examination. I tried books for physics, looked at various books for mathematics, books for specific subjects, question banks, you can name it all. And in my opinion and from my experience, question banks are the best books for preparing for the IOE Entrance Examination. I'll tell you why question banks are the best books for practicing for the IOE Entrance Exam, how I used them, and at last I'll recommend a few good question banks for the IOE Entrance Exam. Let me ask you a question. Why has RCB never won an IPL trophy? Why? Because they have never had the right combination. They have always had some of the best players in the world, but different components just didn't work out for them. But this year might be different, but that's something to talk about another day. Subject specific books are like those individual players. They might be the best in their areas, but from what I have learned, practicing from such books just does not help our performance. We might get very good at one subject, but what about the other subjects? We will be tested on physics, we will be tested on mathematics, chemistry and English. So this is where the question banks are superior to every other type of book for the IOE Entrance Examination. Besides knowing content from all the subjects, they also help us know what we don't know and what we need to work more on. If we keep on practicing the same topic or the same subject again and again without paying attention to other topics, then we cannot know what our weaknesses are. We need to test ourselves overall. While practicing from question banks, we come through questions of some topics that we have difficulty in solving again and again. Well, this tells us that we need to brush up on our understanding of those topics if we want to perform better. Apart from this, we also see a significant improvement in our time management while practicing a set, which ultimately helps us in the examination hall. Take an example of myself. I remember struggling to finish all the questions in the allocated 120 minutes. I even randomly chose options for questions that I had not done because I was running out of time in the test. But with practice, this changed. Whenever I got time away from my coursework at college, I would solve questions from question banks. And if I had more than 2 hours of free time, then I would set a timer of 2 hours and randomly select a set and try to solve all the questions of that set in those 2 hours. And after the time was over, I spent about 30 minutes checking my answers and analyzing my mistakes so that I would not repeat those mistakes again. And with 1 month left for the IOE Entrance Exam, I was finishing sets well within 90 minutes consistently. I'm not trying to brag here, but in the IOE Entrance Examination, I finished solving all the questions in 57 minutes and spent the remaining time checking and rechecking my choices. This shows how much we can improve with a lot of practice, and this also shows how flexible we can become with our time with enough practice. To sum this up, question banks are the best books for the IOE Entrance Examination because they have the perfect blend of everything that will come in the actual examination. They help us know what we don't know and what we need to work more on, and also help us develop as well as improve the skills that are vital in scoring very well in the entrance exam. I didn't start practicing from question banks right away. Actually, I tried to solve MCQs of physics from a book called Extreme Physics, but things just didn't go my way because at that time, which was around the start of grade 12 I think, because at that time I just didn't know enough. Then I started reading questions from question banks, not even solving the questions but just reading them. And then I read the answers and tried to see if I understood them. Usually I did not, but As the course in my college progressed, I understood more of that and my performance in tests also improved. Then I started solving them, which was, I think, after the vacation of Dasa NTR in grade 12. When I found myself not being able to solve questions of one topic again and again, I went back to my textbook. I read and understood the theory and tried to memorize the formula. If I didn't get a grasp of that concept, I searched that topic on YouTube and understood it from there. After that, I solved numerical problems of that topic from the textbook itself, and then I did MCQs of that topic either from a book of that subject or by searching questions of that topic from the question banks until I felt confident. Then I kept on smashing sets after sets of question banks. Before I knew about engineering though, I did sort of a mock test with the books of question banks that I had. I randomly selected a set from the question banks. I set a 2-hour timer and started doing questions. I wrote the list of the answers that I chose in a separate copy, and after the 2 hours were complete or after I was done with the questions, I checked the answers to see how much I scored. Whenever I found a difficult question, I circled the question on the question bank and I looked back at them on Saturdays. I did almost all the practice from the question banks provided by the PA. I finished PA's volumes 8, 9 and 10 and I found them pretty helpful. I got those books with a seat booking thing at that time that gave us the opportunity to give the weekly tests as well, and all the books at rupees 6,000. I do not know if this offer is still available, but if it is, then you should definitely take that, because I think that this is one of the best decisions that you can make for the IOE entrance examination. But if it is not, then I recommend you to buy already used books, which can be found in second-hand bookstores in the Kathmandu Valley and also in online platforms like reusely.com. If you know more platforms like this, then please let everyone know down in the comments. When I was in college, I spent a lot of time in the library just skimming through MCQs from a book called EPCM by Samiksha Publication, and that was pretty good. That book helped me a lot to learn how to solve MCQs for the IOE entrance examination properly when I did not know a lot. Another book that I'd like to recommend is Bijay Puri's IOE Accelerator. Personally, I did not spend much time with this book. I only used it a couple of times in college with my friends and I liked it. After our IOE entrance examination was over, my friends who had practiced from that book talked about how helpful that book was. So it's definitely a book to get your hands on if you want to get a good preparation for the IOE entrance exam. The resources that we have do matter a lot in our preparation and performance. But what matters even more is the work that we put in. You can have a great team and still not win the tournament, or you can have a mediocre team and still become champions. We just need to work hard. Fight hard in practice and bleed less in war. Yeah, it sounds a bit corny, but it is what it is. Hard work always pays off. Don't just collect books. Keep on practicing from a book, and after you get done with the questions from that book, move to another one. Just keep on practicing. Do a lot of practice. That's it for the video. If you liked it, then make sure to leave a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments how you felt about it. If you are giving the IOE entrance examination, then good luck with that. This is me, Suman, Tamang, signing off. See you very soon in the next one.